Monthly planning is a key part of my system, so I thought I would show you how I monthly plan and what components go in to see the big picture about what is happening over the next few weeks. Hello everybody, it's Edwin from My Craft Orchard. How are you? I am very well, thank you. Monthly planning, yeah, it's part of my system. It is the key element. If I don't do weekly planning, I can always look back at my month to see what's happening, what's going on, and all of those sort of things. And there are several components that go into it. And I do monthly planning across a couple of areas of my life that then all goes into one area. So I'm going to show you that today. We are filming, I am, there's only me. Where's that come from? I am filming this a week out. So we're the Sunday and the 1st of March is Saturday. So what will happen is I'm going to run this through with you now, but the elements, some elements are not planned out, and then on Friday or Saturday on the 1st, the last day of the month, or the Saturday, I will come back into my plan and just add any extra elements. So this isn't the whole thing because I can't show it because it's not done, and it's because there are other people involved. I hope that makes sense, I really do. Okay, let's start then. So this is a new thing to my stack. This is a Moleskine. I've added a bit of pattern to it. This is a Moleskine Smart Pro Weekly diary. Okay, and yes, it has funny paper. That isn't the right term. It has paper that if you use a special pen to write on, the pen will then transcribe to a Moleskine app that will digitise your writing. Now, Moleskine also do the layout of this without the smart bit. And the reason I've got this is because, I've took the label off, I went into HomeSense and picked this up for a tenner. Simple as that, £10. However, to buy this other pen off the Moleskine site as of February 25, this would have cost me £200. And to be honest, I'm not a big digital planner. I am digital, and I'm going to show you some of the digital things that incorporate into this. But my main planning system is paper. I love paper. This is where I want to be. I feel more control when I have paper. I can see the big picture, as whereas everything's on apps and Google Calendars and all those sort of things. It just really confuses me, I have to say. So it's a normal sort of, you've got your year, you've then got a month. Let me show you a blank one because there's writing on that. You've then got a blank month, a goals page, a projects page, and a tasks page, and then you go on to the next month. So you've got your year, you've then got all of the months all laid out. Then between the months and the weeks, you then have all of the pages that Moleskine like to put in their planners. I can find it. So you've got ideas and goals, travel, blank space, extraordinary moments, the map page, the ruler, and then the blank page, and then we've got goals for the year, weekly content. Now I like this because each of the weeks, so this is a week in January, is actually numbered here on the bottom. And then that corresponds to the weeks that are on this page here. I like that because you can use it as an index. If you're bullet journaling, that's really useful as an index. And then you go on to the weekly pages, which are all time-stamped. Saturday and Sunday are not time-stamped, as in most Moleskines. And then there's a couple of, not very many, just 4 note pages at the back and the pocket. Okay, so this is what I'm using at the moment, and I'm also using this for weekly planning, which I'm going to go through weekly planning next month. But I've only just had this, so it's fairly new. I've only had it a couple of weeks, so I'm still playing and trying to set it up. But today I'm going to plan out March. Now, the way I've been doing this, because I back planned, okay, I went back and took everything off. So on the week I put in all the information I need to. I then put goals for the month, and then I put projects that I was working on. And then February, because this is when we're still in February, all the appointments and things that are coming up, the goals that I am working on, just one per section of my life, and then projects and things that I need to be plugging into my system. I haven't filled out the tasks because most of the tasks I have are related to the projects and the goals. The way I would use that is if, as a reminder, if I'm doing a brain download. What I actually thought I might use that page for is a bit of the weekly review, what went well, what didn't, and all of that. So I'm still sort of playing with this as to how I want it set up and that sort of thing. So that's where we're at. So this is the month that I'm going to be doing. So the first thing I need to do is I need to put in all of the commitments. Okay, so these are appointments, these are things I've said yes I will do, and that sort of thing. So the way I do this is I come back to my master calendar. So this is the campus book, which is it was an undated book, got pages in the back, and I've dated it through. So that's February. We're not looking at February, are we? We're looking at March. So this is the first place I would come to, because whenever I get any dates or can you do's or anything, this is where I look. Right, it's a thin little book that sits on my shelf, master calendar. If I change any of my system, this doesn't change. This stays the same as always. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to plug in all of these definite commitments, because even though this is all in pencil, some of this is likely to change. So let me plug in the things that are definitely going to happen. Okay, so that's everything from my master calendar transferred in. So what I've done, anything that is a definite appointment, like coffee morning, I'm running a crochet workshop, Mother's Day, our wedding anniversary, things that won't change, I've penned in. And then there's a couple of reminders off my edge of my calendar here that have been scribbled, so I've just put them here at the bottom as well. I've then penciled in, there's a few things going on at the school. They're obviously having a safety week because there's rail safety and road safety, and then there's also a gym festival. Well, normally for the gym festival he has to go in his PE kit, so I've just made a note, put in pencil, because those are things that might change. And again, the rail safety and road safety, I don't know if I've got to do anything for those. I have put World Book Day in because he's got to go dressed up, or he's got to take something. Anyway, there's something to do with World Book Day that I've got to make sure he has got things full. So I've penciled in the road safety, so the things for the school that might change. I've also penciled in down here chemo. No, don't worry, it's not me, it's my dad, and I have made a commitment to my dad to take him to the hospital for his treatment. He's been very poorly recently, so I don't know. We're very uncertain as to whether these appointments are going to go ahead, when they're going to go ahead. He would normally have a 2-session, a 1-off and a 2-session, but because he has been in and out of hospital the last week or so, they've changed that. So what I've done there, because this is an uncertain thing but it's a commitment I've made, I've just penciled in when they used to be, just as a reminder that, you know what, you need to keep time free on Mondays to help your dad. And that's the sort of thing I tend to do when I've made a commitment but I'm not sure. I'll make an estimate of when that's going to happen, so when I come back to look at this, I'll look at it and go, yeah, I made that commitment. I need to be a bit flexible with what I book in or what tasks I do on that day. So that's that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a very quick glance at next month, just to see, particularly this first week, maybe the second week, and any tasks, just to check that is there anything I need to be bringing from there over to this month to prepare for that first week in the month. And looking at this, no, there isn't. VAT return in April, but so no, there's nothing there. And then I'm going to very quickly look back as well. I haven't finished February, so when I do my review later in the week, I will definitely come and make sure that everything out of February is migrated over. But that's what I would do when I do this. I would go back to last month, migrate anything over, go to the following month, check particularly the first and second weeks to double check that there's nothing I need to bring forward into this month to prepare for that. Fabulous. So that's the appointments put in. So at this point then I want to put my reoccurring tasks in, and this is where the calendar and sort of the goals and project pages come into play from now on. So there are a couple of ways that I put reoccurring tasks in. The first one is, and it's mainly I've got checklists. So I've actually got an index card, and if you've caught my last video, which was all about how I use index cards on a daily basis, this is one of the ways I use it, because I have weekly index cards as well. I have a checklist of everything that I need to be plugging in to my month as tasks, basically. Now, so the first thing I'm going to do, because I'm on the calendar, is there anything on here that will have a date on it? Yes, Write the Newsletter will have a date on. Wages and Pensions will have a date on. Top Coaching Call will as well. Okay. So what I will do with this checklist is when I do my content planning and I do my all of my planning for my business, so content, business, home, my personal and my writing, all of that is on these checklists, all of it. So I've got home, which is the Fly Lady type. I was having a go at Fly Lady a few years ago, and I've sort of stuck to some of the routines but not completely. So I tend to put that on just to remind me that, you know, you have got zone cleaning and those things to do. I've got writing on here, I've got things for business, make sure I book in painting for my Warhammer, because that's something I wanted to do this year, is every month is do a bit of painting or creating for my Warhammer, because it costs a lot of money and it's a project, you know, it's one of these hobbies that you need to be doing regularly, otherwise the painting isn't very good and all that sort of things. Right, the newsletter, that's something that I did last month for my craft orchard. There is a link down below to my newsletter if you'd like to sign up for that. That is a project that I'm working on to try and get the consistency up. So that's on there. Emails to 0. We always want that, don't we? Process all the paperwork. Again, that's an ongoing project because there's a lot of paperwork all over the place. Wages and pensions is a task that has to be done every month. I always like to do a uniform check, coaching calls and that. So that's how I that's what's on this checklist. I can't see anything off there that specifically needs to go onto my calendar. And there aren't anything on there that is really part of my goals. But there are some projects on there that I'll want to look at. So let me just write in. I want to be doing, in March, I want to be doing the writing. So we're going to start with writing. And I'll put 30 to 1 hour. So I need to block that in to one of the weeks. I need to make sure I get a Warhammer. And I want to be doing, I'm going to put 2 hours on there. Now, what I did write on the bottom of here is buy golden sprue figure on the 1st to the 15th. So what that is, our local Warhammer shop has a painting competition, and that's the window where I can go and buy the figure. I paint the figure and then I enter that into the competition. What that means is most Sundays up until the beginning of April I'm going to be painting. So 2 hours, and then I'm going to put that on a Sunday. So when I do my weekly plan, I need to be sort of plugging them in. In fact, what I am going to do is every Sunday I'm going to put Warhammer. When did I say 1st to the 15th? So I'm going to go and buy it here, I think. So I'm going to just put Warhammer on every... And the reason I put it in pencil, because it's a movable item, and it might be that I can do it on the Saturday. I'll do it on the Saturday instead of the Sunday. Whereas here, because I've got a crochet workshop, I'm out all day. There's nothing going on there. But Mother's Day, I might actually get more time because it's my day, as it were. Okay, so write those in. Wages is a specific thing. Top coaching call. I don't know what the date is for March for that. I've got to look at my emails. So when I come back to do my planning later in the week, because I'll be sat in front of my computer, I can pull that email up and find out the date for that. So the second place that I keep a checklist is on an app on my phone. So let me just get the phone open. And I use a productivity system called Todoist. So this is what my projects look like, and I'm going to go into the project, because if you've used to do this, everything's on the projects called checklists, and in there I've started sort of putting in all of the tasks that I would need to do. So I've got a weekly one, I've got a monthly, a quarterly, a yearly, and so instead of having it on a post-it note, like a post-it note, what's that? An index card, I'm testing out putting it on here, because I've got my phone or I've got my computer when I'm doing my planning. It also means, see on there, I haven't got any notes or times or anything like that, but on here I have. So for instance, watch last month's top coaching call. I was gonna plan on doing that today. Putting Daisy Crafts, the Warhammer, yeah, and I'm testing this out. I'm always trying, I'm always testing, I'm always playing with getting my productivity system where it needs to be. So let me have a quick look on here. Home zone planning, I'll do that when I do the home planning. I need the date for that, which is on my emails. Daisy Craft will be when I do my monthly planning with that. I've got Warhammer in, and then when I do my content, I will add the Minecraft Orchard newsletter onto that as well. So that's that. So that's another way of keeping these checklists. It's a list of things I need to think about, things I need to do on a monthly basis. So that's that. So another place that I keep is in my index card box, and my light's shining on it. I do apologise. And in here I've got a little calendar, a tickler file. So if any of you have ever done getting things done, you'll know a tickler file is monthly with dates on, and you put bits of paper in. Sorry about that. So the other place I have is a tickler file, and this is a whole section, let me just tip it, you just see, of dates. So January, February, March, and that sort of thing. And then behind each one, I have an index card of reoccurring things that are going to go on every month. So for March, which is what we're looking at, I've got my wedding anniversary, which I've put in, Mother's Day, which I've put in, and then there, company filing on the 31st. So that's something that I'm going to have to be aware of when I do my company planning. And then I've also got a sticky note on this National Brick Event. Now that sticky note was put on there last year, and so what I use these cards for are the reoccurring yearly things, like birthdays, wedding anniversaries, things that only happen once a year, things I don't need on my monthly checklist. And then these post-it notes, and I think I've got one on April as well. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, I've got one on April as well. Is so I've got birthdays, Easter, VAT return. There's also a show in Wales called Wonderwool. So if you're into knitting or crocheting, spinning, dyeing, that sort of thing, that's always a good thing that goes on in April. And it's just to remind me that, did you want to go this year? Do I not want to go? And then the post-it note are things that come off my emails, or things that are a one-off payment. So YNAB is a yearly payment. My Craft Orchard payments, that sort of thing. One-offs things. The reason they're still here is because I haven't plugged them into my digital app. But I'm a paper girl, so that's, you know, this is how I roll, bits of paper. So there isn't anything, I've got all of those, and then that one there is a company thing. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to leave that in this planner, so when I come back to check it later, I don't have to go to my box. And also I want to have a look when the National Brick Event is in Coventry and ask whether we want to go to that. That's if you're wondering, that it's not a brick as in building brick, it's Lego basically. My son loves Lego. So I'm going to leave that in there. Now, what else would I do to these pages? This is my business Kimball weeks. So later in this week, I know I have a business meeting with my husband, my partner. And once we've discussed what we're going to do next week, which will all be recorded in here on the monthly pages. Let me have a look. Can I show you the monthly pages? Yeah, here we go. So I know this is July, but so we will look at the month. See, I've already got wages already there, so I will transfer that over to here. In July there will be a VAT return. If it was July, I would also be writing that in and actually blocking off time to get that done on these pages, because this is the master monthly calendar. No, it's not the master, because I've got my master. This is the working document. This is what's happening this month. This is where I'm going to go when I do my weekly planning and go, right, what's happening this week? Where am I going to plug all of this in to make sure I'm productive and get things done? So the business planning will go into here. Next, I then will also look, and I tend to update the calendar. So for instance, out of here, I was updating February's with various things, because this is my everyday carry, my personal planner. So for instance, last month we had various things. I've got coffee and chat coming up this week, as well as the chemo, but again it was penciled in because we didn't know, and here we are now on this Sunday here, and we're just coming to the end of half term. So for next month, let's just do a quick check. Is there anything I have decorated? I've got the clocks and I've got Mother's Day, and so what I'll do is I'll go in, take this, fill it into here, and just update anything that needs. I pull stuff off here and put it into there, and then pull stuff off of here to update this on a weekly basis. So again, that needs updating as part of my routine. Two more things to show, well, three things actually. So, and I'm sorry about the glare. So this is my memory keeping Kimball, which I go in and I write, decorate things that happened and that sort of thing. So I will also go into this at the end of the month, make sure all of the events that happened are updated, and then I will probably pencil in, like I've got things already penciled in to remind me, and then I will also make sure that these weekly pages, so if you haven't seen this before, that's what a weekly page looks like. All of these weeks are updated, as well as the decoration. If you notice, I'm not actually decorating anything in this video, and that's because I will sit and decorate the whole lot. I get my stickers out and I will decorate my Kimball weeks. I'll decorate my Kimball memory keeping. Those are the main ones I decorate. I haven't started decorating this. I might put some very subtle stickers in it. Don't know, haven't decided. Lastly then, which is what the stickers on the master calendar were, was this out of my quarterly planning. Video on quarterly planning, there's a video on annual planning. So if you remember, this is my quarterly book, and this is the home page. Just as a reminder, each week represents a week for 12 weeks starting in February. So let me go to the calendar. It tells me which week is which. So for March, we're on week 5 through to 8. So for home and decluttering, at the moment the only one I've got is week 5 there. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that in just there for now. Okay, and then when I come to do personal stuff or Minecraft Orchard stuff, that sort of thing, out of that quarterly book, I will take the sticky notes and I'm just going to stick them against the week here, so I know that that week has got to be done there, that one's got to be done this week, and then underneath it will be another one here. There's nothing else on that page. So for instance, if this was in week 8, I would take that and I would put that on that line there like that. Okay, and then let's say, I know these are a different size, but just so you can understand, if I then had a personal task, the personal task would then go next to it there, and then if I had another one, Minecraft Orchard project, that would go there like that, and then that goes across that line, which is the same week, and then that line there, which is that week, and that line there, which is this week, so I can see. And then once it's done, I could move it to the front on a page somewhere here, maybe on that front page there, and then transfer all that back to my quarterly book when I look at it. Okay, hope that makes, where did that go? Make sure that goes back in the right place. So that is it. Everything comes into here. Now this is an extra large Moleskine because I like the bigger page, and it's working. This is really working for me. So just to recap, I put in all my appointments, in hard, appointments in pencil, soft, so appointments, commitments I've made but I'm not sure exactly when, in pencil. I then go through my checklists and update my list, my monthly lists, and then I go through my business and my personal to make sure that those are all into this plan as well and on the planning pages. And then finally I go to my projects out of my quarterly and I just plug those in as well. The last thing is extra post-it notes. As you're going through this, and as I was doing this, something might come up that you think, oh, you know what, I really need to plug that into my plan for this month, but I don't know when, I don't know what's got to be done, I need some more information. I will take a post-it note like that and write it on, and then later in the week when I come back to do this review, I will have a couple of post-it notes and I'll go, right, that needs to be plugged in, or oh no, that's, I've changed my mind on that, or I've had an email to say that's cancelled, or I've had an extra email to say there's more to that, so it isn't just this week and this week, it's another week, that sort of thing. So for instance, off my checklist there was the coaching call, remember, and I said, oh, I need to check my email, so coaching calls, check emails for date. Don't have all the information, but I know I want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I will probably just chuck that at the bottom, just there, and then later in the week when I've done all the rest of my monthly planning, I'll come back into this. Now by doing it this way, it doesn't mean I have to wait for my business meeting to be able to start my monthly planning. This process takes a couple of hours, and if you do it over, you know, a couple of days, the task is lessened by doing it over a couple of days and doing half an hour as opposed to 2 hours. What I will then do when I come back to review Friday or Saturday is I will literally come back to February and I'll look at all of the appointments. Is there anything needs done? Is there any extra tasks that I need to do? Is there anything I need to move forward? I will tick off which ones of these I've done, and migrate either back onto the quarterlies, or I will move them forward into this month. Same with the projects. which of these projects, this is more of an accountability, which of these projects did I actually do? I did write the newsletter, for instance, here. I've written it and I posted it, but I didn't redesign it, so that's something that needs to be moved. I didn't do a charity run, but I did do some decluttering, and I did do some of the wool scarf, but I haven't got as far as I wanted to. So I either need to pull my weight this week and get a load of that knitting done, because that's a knitting project, or I need to reevaluate the project and say, well, I need to be doing more. Did do some of that, and I have done some of that, but these projects aren't complete, and they're not going to be complete this week, so I will then just migrate these with, look at it, how much is it on track, is it not on track, if it's not, reevaluate, if it is, fantastic, and just migrate that over to the March pages. I know that's a long-winded explanation, and I've really tried to explain how I do it, because I've been doing this for years. It's quite a natural process. So then trying to explain it, how I do it to somebody else, might be a bit confusing, because I understand it. So I'm really sorry if I've totally now confused you, or I'm really happy if I've helped or given you some ideas. Comment down below. Do you do your monthly planning? Do you go into as much detail as I do? Do you just prefer it as an overview like my master calendar, and just you work off that on a weekly basis? Or do you just put like a big calendar with everything on so you can see what's going on, all your projects, all your tasks, all the recurring stuff, etc, etc. Please comment down below and let me know. If you are new here, I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe. If you actually read one of my projects, one of my goals for this year is to get monetized. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.